Okay, so this video is going to go over the pros and cons of living in Grover Beach, California. Updated version. It's time to give you the facts of what's going on currently in 2023, and we're going to get to it right now. All right, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Vernice and I'm a local real estate broker here on the Central Coast. I grew up here, raised my kids here, and I am still here. So if you've been thinking about relocating to the Central Coast, then you're in the right spot. We're trying to give you as much information to save you some time and money as you're trying to research the area and get to know the area. There's a lot of great spots here on the Central Coast. So Grover Beach is what we're talking about today. It is one of my favorite towns. It's real small and mighty. A few things that I want to uncover with you, and we're going to get right into it. Okay, so as you'll see, we're going to drop in some footage here to give you an idea of where Grover Beach is located within our Central Coast community. So it's nestled, right alongside the coast there, sandwiched between Pismo Beach and Arroyo Grande. It's less than 13,000 people in population and about 2.3 miles in, its circumference, its area there for you to enjoy. And because of that reason, there is a close proximity to the beach, no matter where you're going to land in Grover Beach. That has not changed. That is just something that's going to be ongoing for year after year, just because, as you can see, where the town is located and how close it is to the Pacific Ocean. So that is a definite pro. Our first pro is the proximity to the beach. And that's something that Grover Beach is just well known for. It's small and mighty, as I said, not too big, but it's just going to have that capability for you to buy something around this area. We have a north side and a south side, as I've mentioned many times, Grand Avenue being the main road in the divider for the town. And again, close proximity to the beach. That's one of the pros that Grover Beach has. Just to recap on that one, you're going to be able to reach the Monarch Butterfly Grove fields very easily from Grover Beach, anywhere you end up landing there in the town. Also, the boardwalk there, if you're a horse person, you're going to be able to have your horses and be able to stride along the coast there. Then, of course, big thing that we can't forget is you can drive onto the beach here in entering here in the Oceano State Park beach entrance, which we have a little bit of coverage there of what that looks like. There's a little kiosk. You make your way in if you have a year pass for about $50, or you pay $5 for the day use. So that is just something that Grover Beach offers, and that's just an amazing thing here in California, specifically on the Central Coast. All right, well, you've got the perk of getting onto the beach, and that leads us to our first con, but living in Grover Beach, pros and cons. And our first con is that, well, you're going to have that coastal influence, which brings you fog. So fog is going to be prevalent here in the mornings, and some grayness, and it should burn off, but it's just something that is one of the cons of living by the beach. There are cons to that. So it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and whatnot. There's going to be fog in your life if you're going to be living in Grover Beach. And that doesn't always burn off, like I said, but if you go towards towards the east, like Arroyo Grande, which would be the next town, as these all kind of mesh quite nicely from one to the other, you're going to get some sunshine. So if you kind of want to get out of that for the day, you can take a drive somewhere quite easily and get some sunshine. But again, being by the beach, you're going to have that coastal influence, and our fog can be damp, thick, and pretty gray, and we should have some footage for you to see what that looks like. But that's just part of living by the coast. So yes, you're going to have to learn to live with some fog living here in Grover Beach. Okay, so now let's move on to our second pro for living in Grover Beach, and that's that the city of Grover Beach is very supportive of ADUs and roof decks. So ADUs are accessory dwelling units, and that's like another unit that can be attached to your existing residents. So Grover Beach lots tend to be a variety of sizes, and the homes are also a variety of ages and sizes, mostly in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and then we have our newer ones that tend to be more track home builds in the 80s, 90s, so on. So those older ones can have the capability to add on to it. Depending on the configuration, the city's very proactive and very supportive of people for their primary investment, whatever it may be, that you can add a junior suite. You can continue on like with a breezeway and then add another, additional residence if the lot size permits it. So that's just a huge thing for Grover Beach. Then the other thing that I'm mentioning is that they're very supportive as well of rooftops. So that's where you can go up and capture the views from a roof deck. So that is also something that we have seen in our area. We'll have a couple of homes to give you an idea of what that can look like for you. So I've sold a few properties with a little home on it. That's the older home. And then they built on a secondary unit. And typically for the footprint of it, you're going to have to go 2 stories on that. But then that gives you the capability of the roof deck. So for our retirement community, that might not work because you're going to have stairs. But like, let's say the front older home is single level, and then you have a family member or want an investment opportunity, you can have that. So that's huge. That's huge for California, for SLO County. SLO County, we're slow in giving permits and things like that. And what's really nice about Grover Beach is that you have that capability, you have that support. You're going to get through the permit process. Each city is very different and unique on how they handle things. So that's a reason why you really need to work with someone here locally that knows what's going on. So, be sure and reach out to somebody here that can help you and knows what's happening. So again, I'm really happy to hear that because our town is small and that gives people opportunity to really maximize their property and capitalize on it, so I really support that. And our city manager, our city council is really proactive in that department. So that is definitely a pro for the city of Grover Beach. Okay, so being that the city is proactive to, ADUs and roof decks, the con to this is that the perimeter of the town is small, so there's not a lot of land that you can do more development on, and that's why they're allowing high density, 2-story, 3-story, 4-story high buildings in the city of Grover Beach. So that's a con, is that the town is small, so there's not a lot of more land to build on. So you're kind of landlocked to a certain extent, but the city is letting you, maximize your property possibilities. And the cool thing is, adding to this, is that the city, the planner, responds quickly. I do know of investors that are working on a few projects right now at a time. They have like 4 or 5 going in the city of Grover Beach. And they are telling me that if there's a revision that needs to be made, they're getting a response super quickly, more than you probably expect for our area. So that is a definite pro to our con. So again, just the town is small, so there's not a lot of land to build additionally, but you're definitely going to look to going up, and that you might not like that because it's going to be high density and it's going to be a condensed build in the city of Grover Beach. So that is something to think about as far as a con. For you, that may be a con. So I just want to bring that up and bring that to your attention. All right. So the next pro that we have is that our roads are getting improved. There's road improvements going on right now all the time. So this is a huge thing for the city of Grover Beach. You can't talk about Grover Beach without talking about the roads and that they're rough. A lot of potholes throughout the town. So we literally have a decade of a planned work to be done on our roads continuously. So they take them in sections. We have grants, we have bonds, we have money coming in now that's taking care of this. So that is huge, huge, huge deal, big deal for our area. So that is something that you should get excited about. That's obviously going to bring up revenue to your home, your property. So our roads are constantly getting worked on and getting improved upon. All right, so what are the factors of what's helping our roads get improved upon, which could be a con for you? This is leading me to my next con, is that there's revenue coming in from the cannabis industry here in Grover Beach. So there's cannabis dispensaries. I always say distilleries, dispensaries. And so that is bringing about $1.5 million that we have never seen before. That is something new, and it is just something that's really helping our town. So that could be a con for you if that's something you're not familiar. I've had people reach out that have been exploring the area from Colorado. They don't seem to have a problem with it. So, just something to bring about. It's not very noticeable. The buildings are really modern, really done super nice, of caliber, of quality. They are really nice buildings that have been constructed to facilitate these dispensaries. So yeah, so that's just something that's going on here in Grover. I just want to make you aware of it. You might not you might not want that in your neighborhood or in your, back door, whatever, backyard, as they say. So, just be aware of that, and you can do your research on that. And I'm happy to, help you with that. You can definitely look at the City of Grover Beach, their website, and they will have plenty of information for you. And you can also talk to the city employees or the planner or the city council always and get some more information on that. All right, so I'm hoping that you're finding some of this information of value, and if so, be sure and give us a like. That helps other people just like you find this information as they're researching the Central Coast. Be sure and leave us a comment if there's something further you'd like to know about. We love hearing from you, and do not forget to subscribe so that you're notified every time we drop a new video. All right, so here is one of the most exciting things that I think we have going on in Grover Beach right now today, is that there's the west side of Grover Beach that's getting improved, that's getting a little bit of a facelift. And so we're really excited about that. That's right before the railroad tracks, right before you get onto the beach. There's a section there in Grover that's getting revamped, and we have some really nice restaurants going in there. We are definitely trying to make that more pedestrian friendly, where you're going to see the flashing lights when people are crossing the roads. The railroad station, the Amtrak station, is there, which eventually will be easy access for business conventions once we get a convention center built up, which is in the future for us in Grover and Pismo area right there. So again, just to know that the city is really focusing on making it more aesthetically pleasing, more pedestrian friendly, family friendly, tourist friendly on that side of Grover. So if we have 4th Street, they all go in the number sequence, going east on Grant. So it goes 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all the way to 16th, where you hit Oak Park Boulevard, and that's where it becomes Arroyo Grande essentially. So all these streets are getting worked on, and the meridian throughout the town is trying to look more aesthetically pleasing, more California-ish, if you will. Just a better view for us as we're driving, making our way to the Pacific Ocean. So that's definitely something that we're excited about. So you can get to the coffee shop, you can get to the restaurants, the post office, all the little things, all the small businesses that are right on that area. We really want to make it a pleasing, better experience for the residents of Grover Beach. All right, so that leads me to my next con, which our meridians are the roadway in between the streets there on Grand are just not looking really good. So that is a con for us right now. But as I'm telling you, that's getting worked on. But as you're driving, you're kind of looking around and it just looks blah. It needs a little oomph. So that's coming. Definitely, that's the next thing on the city agenda, from 8th Street to 4th Street. that area seems to have dropped off aesthetically pleasing to the eye. So that's getting done. So again, some of these areas just don't have that going for them. So that could be a con as you're doing your day-to-day living in Grover right now, but just know that it's getting worked on. Okay, so this is something that I want to bring to your attention as a pro, is that I feel Grover Beach has affordable housing next to the Pacific Ocean. So this is a little secret gem of an area that you can live pretty close to the ocean. And not only that, if you're on the north side of the Grand Avenue area, if you're on the north side of Grover, then that area has elevation, and that's where you can capture those ocean views. So we're going to drop some footage right now so you can see kind of what those residences look like. You can see over the eucalyptus. You can look and get the distant water views. And again, with the rooftops, whether you're on the north side, you might capture a little bit more, but even on the south side, if it's situated in the right design and you're in the right spot, in the right lot, with that rooftop, you'll also be able to capture some beautiful sunsets in here in Grover Beach. And that's just something that's really great, to not pay, over $1 million and be able to live by the Pacific Ocean. So I think that's just something that you should really think about as you're exploring the area. If you're considering Los Osos, Morro Bay, you kind of want to be by the water and have that lifestyle, and you're okay with the builds that are going on here, a little bit more condensed in that nature, then this is a good spot for you to consider. So again, I think it's mostly affordable. Some of these lots do have, because I said that they're condensed, they might have what's called a flag lot. So you have a small home, and then you might share a driveway for a house that goes behind you. So there's pros and cons to everything. But again, I think we're more affordable. There's things in the 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, over $1 million here in Grover Beach. So you have a variety of price points. But again, if you're just trying to get your foot in the door, I know I've made some sales here in the low 6s, medium 6s range in price point. So this is a good place to consider to get you over here to the Central Coast and be near the beach. All right, so with that affordability comes, like I said, a con, and that's our condensed housing and older homes. So what's going to happen in Grover Beach is you're going to have those flag lots that I mentioned with the shared driveway, and I'll have a little bit of a filmage of that for you here to drop in. So in Grover, you're going to have those older homes. Not all of them are going to be updated. So you might have to get a fixer, or you're going to deal with some dated, smaller rooms, smaller closets, those types of things from the 1950s, those bungalows, that era, how the homes were built, the dining areas were in the kitchen. They're boxy, they could be choppy. So that is pretty prevalent in the area. But then a lot of these over the years have been revamped, remodeled. You're just going to have to deal with that and see if that's something that you want. Or there's what's called PUDs, where you have 4 to 5, 6 houses on one lot. You drive in, you go into your garage, you have a 2-story house, and your lot is about 4,000, 3,000, 1,500 square feet, perimeter of your property line, because we got to stack them tight to fit into these areas to provide more housing, because it's a small town. So again, just something to be mindful of. I want to just kind of give you a better picture, those possibilities. And then there's some that are really nice, really new, and have been constructed recently. So we have that going on too. We actually have a new project coming up this year for higher density housing right on 4th Street. It's going to be over 40 units. High density, about 4 levels high, and then it's going to have a retail at the bottom on the first floor for either like a nice brewery, a nice restaurant. So that's up and coming if that's something of interest, if you want to, maybe explore that. If it's just you or your young professionals and you're going to be on that west side of Grover, where you're going to be literally like 2 blocks from the beach, or from all the restaurants and all the coffee places, all that's available on the west side of Grover. And I'll be doing some more videos to show you what that all looks like. It's just going to be a lot of fun. So it's more like of a Newport, Hermosa Beach, you know, Santa Monica, those types of areas where you like high density housing, you get out of your place and you're just flowing, it's going to spill right into the beach area. And it's more of a modern living here in our area, and we just have to kind of go that route right now because we're just, you know, low on land, low on soil. So that's where it's at here in Grover Beach. So that could be a con for you, or that could be just the lifestyle that you're looking for. All right, friends. So the only way that we can help you find that sweet spot here on the Central Coast is you got to reach out. You got to give us a call, text, email, day, evening, weekends. It does not matter, because we have your back when you're moving to the Central Coast, California. So until the next video, we'll catch you later.